Hello and welcome to our video tutorial where we're going to be talking to you about pre-production, production and post-production in film.
Act 1. Camera operation.
Exposure determines how light or dark an image is. It is determined by three camera settings. 1. Aperture, which controls the area over which light can enter your camera. 2. ISO, which controls the sensitivity of your camera sensor to a given amount of light. 3. Shutter speed, which controls the duration of the exposure. These three things are equal to width, time, and quantity. Achieving the correct exposure is a lot like collecting rain in a bucket. There are three things that account for how the rain is collected: the width of the bucket, the amount of time it's in the rain, and the amount of rain you want to gather. In case we've lost you up to this point, the rain is a simile for light, and the bucket is the camera.
What you say? Oh, that you only meant well, 'cause you did.
While the subject of the shot is important, there are multiple other things that you need to take into account. The background, which will provide an overall theme for your shot, the lighting, that makes the subject look better, any distractions in the shot or disruptions of continuity. There are also multiple different camera movements that you can use. A pan, which moves the frame left to right, a tilt, which moves the frame up and down, a zoom, which can make the subject look larger or smaller, and a follow, which, as the name implies, follows the subject while they're on the move. Framing is the process of creating composition. You have to make sure the horizontals are level and the verticals are straight up and down. Points of interest should occur 1/3 or 2/3 of the way up the frame rather than in the centre. Headroom is space between the head of the subject and top of the frame. Leading room is where they're going to go, and looking room, which shows where they are looking.
Act 2. Multi-camera setups. Woo!
There usually tends to be more than one camera. A multi-camera setup allows different shots of the same scene to be used with only one take. This allows different camera shots or angles to be used for a scene. This is important as it can shift viewers' attention to different things within the scene and show POV of different characters. It is also used to show setting and props. The camera crew get told where to position their cameras through the talkback system. This allows the camera operators to talk to each other about the shots they need. The director sits in a small box in the studio where the mixer is. A vision mixer is a device used to select between several different video sources and in some cases mixing video sources together to create special effects. And this is a device for vision mixing. These two rows are used to select the cameras. This is for the program, these are for preview. So I can press camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. Or I can set number 1 as a preview and then do a transition from camera 3 to camera 1. These three buttons are all assigned to different cameras, as you can see Kirsten on the screen right now, and it's used for live broadcasting. Cameras are on tripods with wheels, which are known as dollies, and these are used for smooth gliding shots.
Act 3. Post-production. Oh?
This is Final Cut Pro, which is what we use to edit our videos. This window on the upper left is where all of your audio and video files will be. The window next to this is the preview screen, where we can manipulate it before adding it to our timeline. This window on the far right shows us the entire video with all of your clips added together, and this, along the bottom, is the timeline. That is where you put your audio and video in the order you want it to be viewed. To import video or audio, click File, Import, and then choose the file. This will bring it to this window, which can then be dragged to the viewer. Here, we can mark an in point by pressing I, and an out point by pressing O. These mean that the video will start at this point and end at this point. This can then be placed into the timeline. Now that it's on the timeline, you can add video transitions by clicking in between two videos, then click Effects, Video Transition, then choose from the following. Now that you've got your footage created, you can go to the canvas and watch it through.